Hey there, hope you're doing well. My name is Krish and I run the engineering team at Snowpal. In this presentation, we're going to take a quick look at some of our products and features. Now, we have a lot to offer, so we're just going to skim the surface in this presentation. So we certainly expect that you're going to have some questions. So do not hesitate to reach out to us by sending an email to varun@snowpal.xyz or feel free to set up an appointment by going to calendly.snowpal.com. Without further ado, let's get going. At Snowpal, we offer a number of APIs spanning thousands of endpoints. So no matter what problem you're solving and know which industry you're in, it's highly likely that our APIs can help you hit the ground running really quickly. We're going to go through our APIs, take a look at them. The idea here is for us to serve as a backend, as a service for you, in an industry agnostic manner. Our own products use our APIs. So they've been in production for several years, been thoroughly vetted. So we can reassure you that our APIs are going to help you build stable systems that are performant and scalable and extensible in production. So certainly check out all of the APIs and start with one, and then you can add more into the mix because our APIs can be used independently of each other or collectively as a coherent group of APIs that solve a wide variety of problems. Let's take a look at our product suite. So we own both B2B and B2C products. Let's start with the B2C products, right? So if you go to ios.snowpal.com or android.snowpal.com, you can check out our mobile apps, which can be used and which is what thousands of customers are using it currently for their personal and professional project management needs. Now, they have a lot of features. It goes a lot well beyond project management. But just to have you give you a basic understanding, that's a decent way to look at the app, because originally it was built exclusively to solve project management problems. Now it does a whole lot more, and it's going to continue to grow. So it actually will have a lot of different solutions incorporated into a single app, done beautifully so. We also have a web app. You can go to snowpal.com to check out our web application. So if you're not on the go, you're sitting in front of your machine, then you can certainly leverage the benefits of larger real estate with big devices these days, big displays, and use our web application. We recently launched our education business. So you can go to learn.snowpal.com to check out our courses. As we build these solutions, we learn a lot about software, and our knowledge constantly increases, and we thought it would be good to share that with the community. So our courses can be purchased for very nominal prices. Literally, I mean, they cost less than the price of coffee or a drink at a lot of the coffee shops, or all of them, I should say, right? Probably. So you can either purchase them on learn.snowpal.com, or you can watch them and improve your skills at the comfort of your devices while you're on the go. So you're waiting for a plane at the airport, you've checked in, you looked at the gates and everything. You have 30 minutes. You can either spend the time watching our courses and improving your skills, or watching a movie, right? There's no harm, but I think it's always good to improve your skills. So by the time you land, you become a slightly better engineer or a product manager or UX designer than you already are at the beginning of that. We have our APIs for our business customers. So you can go to aws.snowpal.com to check out our products on the AWS marketplace. We have, again, several APIs and also professional services products. So if you could use a little bit of help from us integrating our APIs, then we are more than happy to do so, right? We're quite certain that you will be self-sufficient because our APIs are pretty well documented, but it doesn't hurt to actually get that additional bit of help. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us. That's about it for this presentation. Thank you. Hey there. We're going to continue learning about Snowpal's products and features. So if you haven't seen the previous video, definitely take a look at that. We went through all of these slides in the previous presentation, so I'm going to skip them. So let's start with learning a little bit more about our APIs. Now we have 6 APIs in production at this point, and that list is constantly growing. So let's take a look at each of them at a high level, right? The first API is our building blocks API. It has over 350 endpoints, and it can be used, and it is being currently used by several customers as a foundational API to build any solution. It is an industry agnostic API. So if you are building a solution for a pharmaceutical industry or a marketing industry or a hotel and restaurant industry, or it doesn't matter what it is, right? I'm just throwing out random examples. And if you're building web apps, mobile apps, or server-side solutions, it honestly does not matter. All that you have to do is get acclimated with our terminologies. It just takes a couple of hours, if that. And once you do that, you can map the terminologies between your problems and our solution, and then get going from there. By using that, you're going to save a ton of time and reduce your market significantly, and you can get your products to market a lot sooner than your competitors, right? So that's the first API. The next one is a content management API. So if you're building a content management solution, or a solution that actually has content management needs in terms of managing content in a hierarchy, we support multiple levels of hierarchy. If you want to link content, like add symbolic links, manage access by granting granular access control, adding favorites, getting notifications, and a lot of features, right? I don't want to go through that list here because there's a lot of it. You can definitely look at the content management API for those needs. And again, you start with one, and then you add the rest of the APIs to make it a more robust integration. But the way our APIs are built is you can either use them independently or collectively, right? They are just as easy to use them in both these design patterns and mechanisms. The third one is a project management API. Again, you can use that for project management needs. We use our APIs so they are thoroughly vetted, they're scalable, performant, and stable and extensible, and they've been in production for years. Our tools use our project management API much like they use the rest of our APIs. So if you want Kanban, scheduling, inherited access control, bulk actions, and everything, the typical features from a project management platform, and atypical features as well, that's a place for you to start. The classroom API is the fourth one. It's meant primarily for the edtech industry. So if you're building solutions for teachers and professors and at universities and schools and whatnot, you want to start with that particular API. It actually has a lot of related features. You can collaborate with other teachers, add students into the mix, obviously, because you're going to manage classrooms. You can create custom grading scales, publish assessments, assign grades, publish grades, look at student performances in endpoints that return rich responses they can use to building charts, much like we've done on our platforms. So a lot of it related to the edtech industry, right? And you can compare student performances or a single student performance during the course of a semester. It's got all of these powerful and cool endpoints that you can leverage to improve your business. The next one is a status reporting API. Status reporting goes a whole lot beyond just knowing who did what, right? That's the starting point. But you want to know which team is performing better than other teams. Who in a given team is actually the best performer, so you can reward them when it comes to bonus time. Who needs a bit of help? Who is blocked? Which of the teams is constantly blocked, so you can kind of give them more attention. You get answers to all of these really cool questions by using a status API. The last one currently, and again, this list is constantly evolving and growing, is our conversation API, which helps you, integrate in-app conversations and those features into your existing solutions, right? So if you want to add private conversations and group conversations, add support for read receipts, deleting, archiving, and leaving conversations, typically being able to support conversations as an in-app feature, that is the API that you want to start with. The rest of our APIs have hundreds of endpoints. This one is the simplest of the APIs. So it will take you literally no time to, obviously not onboarding, because it's easy to onboard onto any of these APIs. Even integrating this API is going to be a really, really quick solution. So certainly for your conversational needs, you want to check that one out. That's about it for this presentation. Thank you. Hey there, hope you're doing well. My name is Krish and I run the engineering team at Snowpal. We've taken a look at some of our products and features in the previous videos. If you haven't checked them out, certainly do so. So in this presentation, I'm going to pick up from where I left off in the previous one. So let's go through these slides because we've actually discussed these items. We talked about our features, our other products and APIs. We're going to focus this presentation on terminologies, right? So because once you know the roads, driving becomes a whole lot easier. So here's some of our terminologies. And again, if you have questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us. Go to calendly.snowpal.com to book time with us, or send an email to varun@snowpal.xyz. So without further ado, let's get going with the terminologies. we have a lot of features. I'm just going to literally skim the surface here. Resources, right? So you'll see words like keys, blocks, pods, and block pods, right, as terminologies. That's the first thing you want to get acquainted with, right? A key is a container, right? So think of it as a project, a board, or a view. It's just an entry point to your problem. So that's a key, right? It's a container. Now, blocks live within keys and serve as the foundational, quote unquote, building blocks to break your problem down, right? So once you have a container, you want to break that problem down into as to granular items, right? So those are served, blocks serve that particular purpose. Now, pods are very similar to blocks, but there are some differences, right? Pods can be children to keys, in which case they become siblings to blocks. And they are similar in that sense, but they're different because blocks are like folders, meaning you can have something underneath them, and pods are like files or leaves, meaning that is the lowest level. That is literally the single most important difference between those two items. We also have block pods because we've realized that customers need a third level of hierarchy, which is under blocks. So you can have keys, blocks, and then pods underneath blocks, which are called block pods, right? So pods can be either siblings to blocks, therefore children to keys, or they can be like block pods, which are children to blocks, therefore grandchildren to keys. Now this is very simple. It just takes a minute to explain it, right? So if it's unclear, just play the last 30 seconds again, and it's going to answer all your questions. Some other verbiage that we have: tasks. You can create tasks for other people. That's again standard English terminologies. There's nothing more to explain there. Relations are ways to connect disparate resources, right? Now we have lots of keys, pods, block pods, and blocks. As your content grows, now you want to relate them. So look at them as like scope bookmarks. So you go to one of the blocks and you're like, hey, I have a relationship between this and some other disparate piece of content there, in which case you can establish the connection by creating a relation. When you relate A to B, B is related to A, so it's bidirectional. Checklists, you can add checklists and any number of checklists and checklist items to manage work being done, assign them to other people and whatnot, right? So it's standard checklist functionality. Favorites, don't know if I have to explain that at all. It's adding and adding and removing favorites, so you know which ones you are favoriting and whatnot. Symbolic links, if you come from a Linux or a Unix world, you will understand that. Essentially, you can create content one time and link it any number of times, because let's say we also support copy and move functionality, obviously, but if you don't want to replicate or duplicate your content, and you actually want to have a single piece of content that's referenced through multiple containers and blocks, etc., because you want to lay them out nicely, links will actually help you do that. System keys are actually is a very cool feature. When you're collaborating with other people and they're sharing content with you, you can actually structure it however you want to structure it, but as a starting point, they are all available under system keys. So you can go look at the filters created by me, shared with others, and then that'll give you a good filtering of our content, right? So you should go to system keys to check out those features. So that's some of the terminology that we have here. In the next video, we'll take a look at some of our features, but this is a good point to end this video. Thank you.